We are getting this next set of games ready to roll. Um, I believe we will be having an interview here. Hopping in now to talk to Prowler, it seems like. Hey, Prowler.
Hey,
Kenos here. Congratulations on your win.
appreciate it. We're hoping that's the second seed for us then.
Yeah, we'll have to see how these next couple of games going. One thing that I was wondering just right off the bat, what was your team thinking when you more or less ended up against the exact same setup both times in games one and two?
After the first game, I think we felt that we had the win. We just made a couple mistakes. That was what was preventing us from getting it earlier. So we were really going for more of the same. We thought we could beat them playing it that way, and it worked out great for us.
Yeah, it definitely did. No question about that. Did you do any sort of particular changes to how you were playing the top lane against the Malphite since you were really the only identical matchup between the two games?
I didn't do anything different. I felt I won at least the first game pretty well. I had a lot of help from the jungler Evelyn. Made that lane pretty easy while Shyvana was mostly hanging out in the bot lane. But I thought I just kind of misplayed a few things, and I thought I could make the matchup go a little bit better. Plus, 5 Loco Addict is a Urgot main, so I just wanted to be able to take his champion away. It was more about stealing his champion than about the matchup itself.
Well, you did a really good job while stealing his champion, so congratulations on that.
Appreciate that.
You got any questions there, Sig?
Uh, with the decision making you and your team going into this game, uh, what was the priority picks in terms of ban? What was it more of a priority of trying to hate ban them, trying to take away some of their strong champs, or was it more about avoiding meta?
For hardcore campers, it's a lot of both. Most of the champions that they do main are in the meta right now. Sono we've seen is really impressive, especially when their support has it. Urgot is just a troublemaker with Grasp of the Undying. I think that we saw that come into play in these two games. So it was both, hate banning them, where you're targeting their champions, or in my case, I was stealing a champion away from them, but also making sure that we're not playing against champions that are doing real well in the meta, which for them is just happens to be what they play with their comp.
And it was good calls all around. You guys performed so strong. It was wonderful to watch and even better to commentate on. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. I don't know if you guys caught it in the broadcast. We wanted to make a real show of team unity, so all of us were representing with the same summoner icons. We've been going with Apes Together Strong as our motto, and for the final week, we've decided to go with Welcome to the League of Draven.
Yeah, we did shout that out that you guys were all Draven icons there. It was very funny to see.
Yeah, you got to have fun with the league, otherwise there's no point to it. You're playing to be competitive, but as we've all signed in our contracts here, we're not looking to be salty. So having a little fun with it, I think, is really important. Kind of helped calm us down a little bit too.
Yeah, for sure. Well, once again, congratulations and good luck in the playoffs next week.
Appreciate it. Again, we're hoping for the second seed, so we'll be looking for Take the Lantern and Triple Strike to be a very competitive game. We're hoping for the 1-1, obviously. It would work best for us.
For sure. All right, good luck with that and have a good night.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it. You guys take care. Thank you.
All right, so now we will hop back into the live broadcast here where everyone's getting set up for our next game. And with that, we do have Nickelbacker coming in here for the commentator. How you doing, Nickel?
I'm doing good, Kenos. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. Sig, you going to be sticking around or are you going to be stepping out?
I'm like underneath the kitchen dresser drawer, the kitchen drawer. I'm always a little sticky. I'll always be around, but I'm gonna come back for game 3. Nickel, I'm excited to hear you going at it, man.
All right. Well done, Sig. Excited to see you in Game 3 as well.
All right, bye bye.
See ya. All right.
All right, so yeah, we're definitely getting ready to see this next set of games. But let's just talk a little bit more, since we can have some new perspective coming from you about how you thought those first two games went.
Well, those first two games, wow, what a treat they were. But I feel kind of bad for White Wolf Gaming because I feel like that they had more of a chance in the second game, and they were kind of, I don't know where it went wrong.
Campers.
Yeah. Oh, campers. Sorry.
No problem.
Jeez.
We've been mixing that up because they switched sides on us at the start of the game. It's just all...
It's their fault.
Right.
That's the issue. No, I'm kidding. But anyways, but no, I feel like they had a little bit of a chance. That would have been interesting to see if it was 1-for-1, but unfortunately, it just didn't seem to be in the cards for them. But well done for both teams. But White Wolf Gaming was just able to stomp on them. Essentially, it was interesting to see how good they were in the second game. At least, not White Wolf Gaming, Hardcore Campers. They were able to contest those objectives so well. It's so hard to like gauge whether it's okay to get a Baron, especially with the lack of vision in the opposing jungle that they had. But I was actually surprised that they were able to steal those 2 Barons. Well, not necessarily steal, but take those 2 Barons with little to no. I think Oriana got a ball off one, but really it was well done for them to get that objective. Unfortunately, they just didn't have the chance to capitalize on that. I feel like if they got some picks, or maybe if they were able to win a team fight after that, they definitely would have had a little bit more of a game for that. But unfortunately, that just didn't happen.
Yeah, definitely good awareness on... It was definitely good awareness on part of the campers to be able to work out the fact that, you know, we were losing the dragon, so go get the Baron, keep that away from them, deny it from Wolf, and everything. What, you know, at least kept them in the game longer. If the positioning and stuff had been a little bit better, they might have had a little bit of a better shot at it. But unfortunately, they just got picked off too often and too early into team fights to be able to try to swing them around for most of the game.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly how it happened. Yeah, good on both teams, and it looks like that we're going to be starting into set 2.
Yep, Triple Strike versus Take the Lantern. Both teams who are playing for seeds in the playoffs right now, so it'll be really exciting to see who can try to move ahead in that.
Yeah, we're going to see probably 2 teams that are at each other's throats, because I believe that the standing stand... oh, that's a tongue twister if I've ever said one. I believe either or, if you might have just said this just now, pardon me, but if they lose these series, they're probably out, and then the winner gets to go ahead. But so yeah, this is going to be a very important game for each one.
Well, I think just based on the standings as that right now, I think Campers and Bruce City are both out and everyone else is in. It's just a question of who's going to be the unlucky person playing against Northern Storm in the first games next week. But we'll have to see how it works out, you know. And
yeah, for sure.
With the bans that we got going on right now, of course, we have the targeted bans of Shen and Anivia against Ace and Odin, and some really strong bans of Vagar, Malphite, and Kane for Triple Strike as well.
Yeah, Vagar gets wins, that's for sure.
Right.
That's a headache that nobody wants in a game like this.
And Gotta Get Lucky's had some reasonable Malphite play as well, so good to get that away from him.
For sure. Just alt away from it, just like did Malphite in the last few games.
Right, yeah. Lot of those escape alts from the Malphite in the previous game. Well, we'll see how the picks go here.
That was a pretty good play for him, but yeah. Oh, a Leona pick.
Interesting first pick there from Leona.
We're definitely going to see a top Leona now.
For sure.
I've been playing solo queue for the past week, guys. I'm surprised by nothing.
Well, especially after last week's game, I'm sure you're surprised by nothing also.
Taric jungle for the win, everybody. Come on.
Right, come on, everybody. Let's all remember the Taric jungle. Remember, it could come back at any time and traumatize Nichols some more.
Yep. Just break my brain, guys.
All
Master
right.
Yi jungle, that kind of gives me a little bit of fear. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Warwick?
Alright, so Warwick over the Master Yi. Little less hard carry potential, but of course Warwick does have his own bag of horrifying tricks.
I mean, he's going to have to wait till level 6 to do anything. I'm kidding, everybody. He can do other things, but... Yeah, I feel like the Master Yi probably would have been a better pick. I feel like they have a plan up their sleeves if that's the case, but...
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. I'm really interested to see which of Ace's 3 AP characters he ends up picking here. With the Anivia out, he's down to Xerath and Lux, so it's a coin flip right now.
Yeah, just bring out the talent and make everybody just
Make everyone really concerned.
exactly.
All right,
I'm
well,
not concerned. I assume he'd probably be okay with it, but it's just don't go AP.
all right. So with the Gnar pick, that leads to some interesting choices for top lane for Take the Lantern. We'll have to see
Right.
if they'll really want to push up somebody who can kind of go ranged on ranged. I mean, obviously, I guess they made their choice and picked up the Kennen, who of course is a favorite of Gotta Get Luckies.
For sure. Interesting. We've seen Kennen banned a lot through the previous weeks. I'm surprised that he got through. I didn't even put 2 + 2 = fish in my brain right there. But
There goes the Lux.
and there goes the Lux.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of bot lane Take the Lantern comes out with here, because they are missing any sort of major tank options right now. They don't really have a lot of meat, especially compared to, you know, the 1.5. Well, actually, I suppose 2 half tanks plus Leona, depending how they decide to build the Jarvan. So
For sure.
there is a lot of.
You're telling me Tankwick isn't a thing anymore?
Well, you know, he can be.
It can be. He's probably not going to build them that way, but it's a possibility, probably. But yeah, I agree with you. We do have 2.5 tanks on the opposing team. It looks like that they need a little bit more meat on Team Take the Lantern.
Yeah, I'd imagine that we're going to be seeing a like a Tam Kench or a Tom Kench or an Alistar coming out of Take the Lantern.
For sure.
That'd be my guess. Blitzcrank, of course, also a possibility, but my bet would be on Tom Kench. I believe we've seen Tilted Snorlax on him before.
Right. Well, we'll get to see in 5 seconds.
Alright, so Ziggs picked up for the mid lane. With only Xerath left, I'm guessing that's who is going to be picked up by Ace. So we'll just see who the support is for Triple Strike.
For sure. Excuse me. Just taking a look to see here.
So yeah, definitely interesting team comp coming out of both teams here. Not really heavy on the stuns for either team. Very much more just straightforward, no CC. Ooh! Ace hearing me
There
talking.
it is. I called it.
Ace
Not
here.
a talent,
Ace
but
hearing me talking crap, it goes with his other favorite Fizz. So that'll be really interesting to see how that works out. Good burst potential there. There's no way that's actually a Fiddlestick Snorlax. Don't mess with me. Yeah, there we go.
a little bit better. And there comes that tankiness that we were talking about that they were missing from the team.
Yeah. Shout out to Snorlax for picking one of the tank supports I didn't mention. Alright, but yes.
Always forget the Braum.
Always, everyone forgets the Braum. I was also wondering if we were going to see Thresh. Haven't seen any Threshes, but nope, we got the Braum. Alright,
Yeah, for
so,
sure.
but still, you know, I mean, Braum obviously adds a lot more CC potential with his team knockups and his possible stuns. So that's probably a better pick for Take the Lantern overall, just to add a little bit more of that possible disableability, especially against characters like Fizz and Tristana, who are really hard to lock down. And Gnar, even. Gnar's got a lot of bounces. This is a very flexible, skinny team coming out of Triple Strike.
Yeah, for sure. But again, Triple Strike doesn't have, well, I guess besides Jarvan, Leona, the more lockdowns that we were talking about. They're not too. They don't have anything that can bring too much to the table in my brain, but for that. But
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought. Apologies, everybody.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it works out. I mean, obviously, Leona has been causing a lot of serious impact in the LCUS, depending how well she's played. She's a big kit of snares, of stuns, of slows, and it's no one that you can ever really count out of a fight. So if she gets in the center of it and lands one really good ultimate, it could swing things a lot. Of course, on the other side, Gotta Get Lucky throughout the entire tournament has had at least one, every time he's allowed to play Kennen, one moment where he comes out of nowhere and stuns the entire opposing team, which
For sure.
can be a really big turnaround, especially when you have a lot of large AoE potential coming out of Ziggs with his ultimate and things like that. So top lane's going to be a big focus, seeing if the Kennen gets shut down, which of course then plays into whether or not the Jarvan and Warwick can gank very well. And of course, how fed the Tristana gets, because you let Tristana or even Fizz get too far ahead and there's just going to be no stopping them.
For sure. Yeah, they're going to have to watch out for that Fizz. We haven't seen him that much in the LCUS at all in the LCUS, I believe. But yeah, and I do know that Ace does. He doesn't play that character much, but he is skillful with that character. This is from personal experience, guys. So I feel like that is still going to be a force to be reckoned with, especially if he gets further ahead, like you said.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it was actually interesting to see how well he does. The matchup in the mid lane does. I mean, obviously, Fizz will be in a bit of poke trouble early on, just because the Ziggs will be able to harass him for quite a long time, which could actually lead to some problems, because if Fizz gets low enough, Warwick can just get a big speed boost on him, which could lead to some trouble especially once Warwick hits 6. So I think Fizz may end up having a difficult time in lane unless Jarvan really helps him, with some presence and some good ganks.
Mhm. It's going to be interesting to see what Menards does with Warwick, because that's a really kind of 50-50 shot. You have to be accurate with that R, especially. I mean, it's a do or die situation. But if you miss, you just wasted your ult. You missed the gank, and you probably just killed your mid laner.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking from experience, guys.
Big pool of experience there. All right, so here we go into first game of our second set, Triple Strike versus Take the Lantern.
All right, let's go. Let's see what kind of skins they're going to be bringing out too. We've got to do the skin analysis.
Indeed. Well, a lot more skins this time. Super Galaxy Gnar, of course, a lot of people fans of that. Firefang Warwick, Santa Braum, Pulsefire Caitlyn. Ooh, fast load this time.
There you go. I didn't even get there yet. Yeah, Super Galaxy Gnar. Blood Moon Kennen looks pretty good. I might have to give this to Take the Lantern. They do have more skins, and you gotta like the Santa Braum. Pulsefire Caitlyn's also very good too.
Yeah, and I like the splash art for Warwick, so I think that's
Sure.
worth noting as well.
So yep, Take the Lantern if skins get wins. Take the Lantern is gonna win this day.
Well, we'll have to see. A lot of pushing out there. Also worth noting, just for those who like noting these sorts of things, that both Braum and Caitlyn both have like little bike things that they ride on. Or, they got Santa's sleigh. Ace already in a lot of trouble. Fortunately took Troll Pole first. So, does manage to get out of there. But I think that's going to be Ace's future for at least the first 5 or so minutes of this game.
And that's what we were kind of saying in the box beforehand, right? So, I mean, that's going to be his life for the beginning. But it all depends on if he's going to be get ahead with a couple of kills, a couple of helpful ganks. But we'll just have to see later in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Also worth knowing that Caitlyn did try to blow Flash for that, so that could be a big problem for her if Jarvan comes down to say hi.
For sure.
So we'll have to keep an eye on that for the next couple of minutes. Alright, but after that initial excitement, there are a couple of wards that have been placed in the jungle, but with Jarvan starting on the other side, those should expire before he gets there.
For sure.
And let's see how this this opening couple of waves goes for Fizz. Because, I mean, it's going to be all about how much Ziggs wants to harass.
Yeah. And if he wants to do it, he's probably going to have to do it sooner rather than later.
Yeah, if you don't want a Fizz being comfortable in lane.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of pokes there, but not quite as much. It's possible he's worried about what Fizz can do to him in response, but I mean, Fizz only becomes a big trouble, once he hits 3 or 4.
For sure. Yeah, well, as for right now, just nothing more than just poking back and forth. And again, Ace is having trouble.
Yeah, lot of poke there. I guess Ziggs was waiting until he got a couple of skills out so he could actually really take advantage of it.
For sure.
Warwick does get spotted. Ace, for some reason, decides to go for the 1 CS and uses the flash for it. So that was 20 gold for a CS. Or 20 gold for a flash.
20 gold for a flash. That's what a flash is worth, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Jarvan could be in a little bit of trouble here. Does get spotted out. Warwick does. Oh, this could be bad.
Yeah, Warwick's in a bad spot right now. A little bit of burns the flash. Now Ace burned the flash, Menard's burned the flash. It's 1-for-1.
Also, a bit of a fight going on between top laners who are both trying to come down and help. Gnar gets stunned. Good play by the Jarvan there. Lots of flashes being burned, and first blood goes to the Gnar.
Interesting game right out of the gate. I mean, we've had flashes. We've had 20 gold for flashes. Poke for poke, and then we get the first blood to the Gnar. And the bot lane is just keep on going with this momentum.
Good backwards flash there by Tilted Snorlax.
Boy. He was in a little bit of trouble there, but now I don't think he'll have any problems.
Stana takes a couple of hits too. So we'll just have to see how these teams take advantage of these various positional things, because with a lot of flashes being down, you can do a lot with that. Fizz trying to go in, but he is a level behind. Yeah, a level behind. So that could hamper him somewhat.
And hamper him, but you can see how he's been juking out the Ziggs. He's been doing pretty well, but fortunately we have a range character versus a close range character. So
yeah, it's always going to be a bit of a problem.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, most everyone's flash is down currently. Only Tristana, Leona, and Ziggs have flash available still. So not too much mobility available for Take the Lantern right now. At least, you know, unnatural mobility, I should say. Fizz loses about half health from a little bit of an exchange there. So still got to play it careful despite not having died yet. I'm sure Ziggs would love to change that.
For sure. Yeah, and he might want to be careful too in a little bit later, about 1 or 2 minutes, when that Warwick gets a little bit higher level, more CS, more gold under his belt. Because that'll be a dangerous combination before Warwick can get that ult off and lock that ice down.
Fizz decides to dash forward for his CS, getting really low.
And it is. We also have to mention that he does have teleport, so that might be why he's being a little bit more aggressive to get that CS, because he has the ability to just go right back to base, which he's doing right now, and he's probably going to teleport right back where he was.
Yep. Yeah, good call with that. Letting him stay in lane a little bit despite having to go back to heal. And now Ziggs is going back as well. Ziggs hasn't had to go back yet, so he's going to be able to cash in 1,200 gold. Interesting to see what he decides to pick up with that. And it's a lost chapter, it looks like.
Yeah.
And so Warwick still creeping around. They're both Jarvan and Warwick are going to run to each other at Scuttle Crab again. My guess is Warwick's going to get it, just because of he does choose to smite it. Fizz is coming up on him though. Here we go.
Deja vu, folks.
Right, we'll have to see. Ziggs isn't anywhere near this time. Good job getting the slow. Ziggs does ult, but that's more just to deal a little bit of damage. Fizz does dash for it. Alright, Kennen wasn't that involved in that fight. Was at half health for that. Did just hit 6. Bot lane didn't explode while we were gone, so that's good.
No, not just yet. They've been playing kind of safe. I mean, just a little bit of poke here and there. Able to get it back perfectly fine.
It is really
and
interesting.
And cheeky emotes.
Yeah, it is really interesting how the Warwick has been getting sandwiched like that the last couple of things. Good ultimate there by Fizz. We'll see if he's able to close it out. Doesn't look like he is. Makes the Ziggs burn the flash.
See, And now we're starting to see a little bit. In CS, they've been pretty fine, but that kill is helping out Fizz a little bit. Also, interesting to see that Kennan's having so much trouble with Gnar in the top lane. Not too interesting, I guess, because he does have a little bit more range than him. But still, though, like, I didn't think he was going to have that much trouble.
Yeah, the Mega Gnar spikes are probably dealing a lot of damage, making Kennen unable to go in when he might necessarily feel he has the advantage just because of those power spikes. Warwick doing a little invading here, grabbing the Raptors. Probably not in too much danger, trying to hit 6 as fast as possible, and he will hit 6. Leona really trying to grab this Braum, but he's going to get picked off, probably. No snipe out of the Caitlyn yet, too busy trying to kill the Triss.
Fizz is going to go down as well.
Oh, Fizz gets picked off by Warwick. Missed that, unfortunately. Jarvan going to get this Kate. Oh, and the Braum, too!
Nicely done.
Yeah, good job getting something out of that rotation. Unfortunately, losing Fizz in the process. And nice job by the Trist flashing forward to get a kill rather than letting Jarvan take both of them. Little bit agreed there, but you know, you're the ADC. That's on your business card. Alright, so a lot of damage is going to be coming out on this mid turret because of Fizz's death. His teleport is only about halfway up, so he won't be able to teleport there in time. Jarvan rotating to help save it though, so that's good. Jarvan now 7.
Yeah, and he does have Fizz coming by him. I feel like that'll be a nice little reset for him. But yeah, like we were saying, it's interesting that Warwick is getting sandwiched so often. But I feel like he's just getting out of place when trying to do his jungle roam. He might want to stay out of that river.
Yeah,
otherwise
he and Jarvan are both paying a lot of attention to the Scuttle Crab timings. And so, you know, if the Warwick does it again, which it looks like he might be trying to, we could just have a third instance. Nope. No, looks like he's happy just staying home this time.
For sure. He did hit the vision to try to see if there was anybody there, but nobody was there for him to see, so. It looks like they are just... For Vision, they've been doing pretty good of just doing the... the objectives. Nothing really too much into the opposing jungle as of yet. Fizz doing big damage on the Ziggs.
Ziggs has twice now been doing really well when the Fizz jumps on him to lay one of his detonators right at his own feet. So when the Fizz does land on him, he can bounce them both away from each other. I'm interested to see if Ace will be able to react to that in time or not in the future.
Nicely done by Ace to dodge that ult from Warwick.
Kennen getting a lot done up against the Gnar as well. So Get Lucky finally kind of establishing himself in the lane. That extra farm he's got has certainly helped, though he is down a kill.
For sure.
Jarvan once again trying to cover his mid lane's turret. So yeah, a lot of the action has been revolving around the mid lane, like we said, even though most of the kills have come out of the bot lane.
Sure. They do want to be careful bot lane. They do have Warwick and Ziggs coming down.
Incoming angry Warwick. He does get fleeing off on them, but makes them flee the wrong direction. Good Braum ult. Ziggs accidentally knocks the wrong way. Good flash awareness to get out of that Jarvan ult. Fizz is here too, though. They do manage to get 2 kills. Fizz may want more. Probably not going to get it. Really good rotations, though. And Triple Strike's been having relatively good rotations the whole season so far. Doing really good, just realizing that their team is doing work and being able to move in to capitalize on it. Trist almost dying, but manages to bounce away. Last second teleport canceled by the cannon.
Nicely done by the team. They were out for blood and they were able to confirm the kills. That could have been turned very poor for them in blink of an eye, but fortune was on their side today, everybody.
Yeah, it was especially helped because Take the Lantern decided to fall back from that turret, probably sensing the dive coming rather than, you know, possibly being able to just stay behind and, at the very least, make them pay a little bit with turret damage, if nothing else.
For sure. They were a little bit too far out, and it's interesting they didn't go out a little bit further than that because they knew that they had 4 people at their doorstep. That probably would have been a little bit more safer by going to the tier 1 turret rather than the tier 2. Or tier. I said that right. Oh boy.
All right.
At least people understood me.
Also worth noting that Ace has been going for the stacking Dark Seal item. So really confident in his ability to stay alive and make things happen as Fizz.
For sure. Fizz is a bouncy character. I mean, he can definitely get out of a dirty situation when he wants to. So see if Ace can actually do that.
Yeah. A lot of focus going on in the mid lane right now. Jarvan pretty low. Warwick creeping in the wings. Warwick should probably go back. I mean, their team's far enough behind as it is. Fizz trying to make some big plays happen. Does manage to get the Ziggs. Kate, nope, does not manage to get the Fizz. Warwick rushing in. Everyone's pretty low. Kate's got to just try to do a defensive action. Her net is on 4-second cooldown, so not able to escape from there, but is able to relatively cleanly walk out, though they did lose the Ziggs.
Nicely done.
Yeah,
Get a tower down, get a kill.
Possibly able to get this tower down too. No, they're willing to just kind of rotate. Probably go into Dragon at this point.
Yeah.
They do have the meat for it. I'll be really interested to see what happens once Cannon and Gnar start getting into these fights.
Not so much has been happening as of late. It's still just been a poke fest while bot and mid has been have a little bit contested the Dragon. Unfortunately, too late. A is able to just delete Braum. And they're just going to back off from that. They do not want anything from Team Triple Strike.
Yeah, Ziggs has bombed into that much damage. It did take a chunk off the Jarvan, but the Jarvan was able to jump out of there.
And still top lane, just doing top lane things.
Yeah, Leona's just so durable right now, especially with her 5 assists, that it's really hard to get much of any damage off of her at this state, depending how fed you are.
Very true.
We'll have to see how it progresses. We're definitely very firmly in the mid game right now. About a 4K gold lead there for Team Triple Strike, blue team. And we'll see how Take the Land responds. I mean, obviously, they are severely down in kills. Gold numbers wise, they're also really down in gold. Most everyone that is on Triple Strike is at 5K at this point, where no one on Take the Lantern is even close. Kennen burns flash. Kennen burns ults. Might be able to get the Fizz here. All right, so that's a big play.
Fortunately, that Fizz was just under tower too long.
Do manage to get a couple of stacks off of that Fizz. So that's always useful when you can do that. Unfortunately for Take the Lantern, Triple Strike does have the Rift Herald.
And here it comes.
So we'll see how much pushing they're able to get out of this. Probably the first turret, though there are a lot of... Their whole team is up here for Take the Lantern, so they might even not even get first turret, and they don't. Alright, so maybe not the best Herald.
Maybe not the best Herald, but it does give them a little bit of a distraction for them to go down the river, get a little bit of vision out of the way, and get the scuttle. Not too much of a give and take where it's probably benefiting them, but you gotta take what you can get.
Right, yeah, get those positional wards up, get a little bit of a peek in. Triple Strike is definitely winning the vision war right now. We'll see if they're able to continue that or not.
Sure. And they might not have gotten top tower, but they're going to try as hard as they can to get as much damage from mid tower. But a scary Warwick came in.
Yeah, really good use of that fear effect by the Warwick. He's been doing really good positionally wise with that for most of the game, except for that one gank early on where he feared everyone the wrong direction. But for the most part, he's been doing good. Like against that Fizz under turret, the Fizz was taking so much damage, the fear just made it last a little bit longer, and that was enough to take it out.
Right.
Also worth noting, Warwick is the only one with the kills for Take the Lantern. So hopefully they'll be able to change that in the next couple of minutes.
Yep. In an interesting turn of events, we have a Caitlyn top lane and a Kennen ADC. And a Kennen ADC is going to get caught by the Leona and the Tristana. I'm sorry, guys.
It's an interesting lightning effect there coming out of the cannon. Hadn't actually paid too much attention to that. More of an arrow of lightning than a ball.
Yeah.
But it does manage to not only get out, but then just comes right back.
Yep.
So we'll see how this cannon's positioning goes. He did he does have his ultimate available.
I mean, he could make a big play if he wanted to against the... It's going to be a 3v3 in the mid lane.
Try to get a stun off on the Warwick, doesn't quite make it. Fizz misses the fish. Very unfortunate there.
Very unfortunate for the Fizz. Fortunate for the Warwick, he gets to live another day.
Yeah, for sure. Good bomb positioning there by the Ziggs, helping create some territory control to save the Warwick in case anyone was going to go further in. Kennen is really out of position here. He's got to get out.
They are going to see that, and they are going to try to capitalize on that. Though he is a fast little bugger.
Not as fast as a Fizz, though, unfortunately. Good stuns, though. And good troll pull to get out of there.
Goes back in?
Yeah, that was an interesting choice.
Questionable.
Meanwhile,
Probably just wanted to get as much damage. Yeah, meanwhile, more interesting in the mid lane.
Gnar gets a good double kill there. Kennen manages to get away from the Tristana. And Braum and Ziggs managed to get away as well. So interesting plays by
not bad.
Yeah, interesting plays by the Fizz there. He might have thought that he was going to be able to go back in on that team fight if the Kennen was trying to go around, but the Kennen was just patiently waiting and managed to take him out.
Either that or just trying to get a surprise on the Kennen. I mean, I wouldn't have figured that Fizz would have gone back with how low he was. But unfortunately, I don't know if... Yeah, I was just in a unlucky position.
Yeah, so when we were talking about the Warwick having all the kills, Fizz has all the deaths for triple strike there. So it's pretty much what we were talking about before, where the Fizz, you know, would be the one who was getting picked on pretty hard early game.
And that's exactly right. Although he does have the only deaths, he's not a pushover when it comes to kills or assists either.
Indeed.
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
amazing job.
Yeah, everyone on Triple Strike has been doing a really good job in terms of being involved in fights and picking up kills. But, you know, on the other hand as well, we're just going to have to see what Take the Lantern can do to get back into this. Ward coverage, of course, would be a really good way to start it. They've only got 3 wards on the map right now. 4 wards on the map. Ziggs has had some really good awareness about the state the dragon is in. Even without ward coverage there, he's just been like, well, they aren't there, they must be a dragon. Hasn't been able to steal anything yet, but he has been able to get some good damage out.
For sure.
Fizz going very low. I'd like to see the Ziggs get a little more of a damage spike. He doesn't. He's only got about 600 gold in his pocket, so he can't get a huge spike yet. But once he does, I'd like to see how these team fights go, because I think Ziggs' damage isn't quite where they want it to be right now.
That's going to have to come a little bit later. As you said, just still not at that point yet. And I feel like that's what, along with other things, that's what Team Take Lantern is waiting for. Because they probably want to win a team fight or get some good picks on them so that they can mow down mid lane, or at least get some more towers and more objectives.
Speaking of picks, we're talking about the Kennen here?
I was not talking about the Kennen. I was watching the Tristana jump out of what is ult.
Really good bomb there. Wow. I was going to say mean things about the Kennen, but the Kennen just goes, does a complete 360, comes back around, and helps secure those last 2 kills.
Well, yeah. They must have heard me when I said get some picks or win a team fight, and it might not have been a full team fight, but they were able to get some good kills off there, and now they have, unless this Fizz comes in and just cleans up with the help of Jarvan.
Yeah, Jarvan does get picked off, though. So Fizz wisely stands right there. Wisely going to back off. once he makes sure everyone else is gone. Yeah, I mean, that fight in the mid lane was definitely helped by the fact that it was a 3v4, for sure. They stacked all of their AoE abilities really well. The Braum into the Ziggs ult was a really good high power thing. And then the Kennen, like I said, helping close out the backside. I'm not sure how much of that was coordinated in terms of where the Kennen was and how much of it was just the Kennen coming in and making a play. Because it looked more like the Kennen was trying to swoop in for some cheap jungle stuff and was going to get caught out by the Fizz and Jarvan when I was first mentioning it. But he did manage to make it work for him.
It was all calculated. It was planned 5 minutes ago.
It was planned start to finish. It's in their playbook. They got it written down.
Exactly.
Right. Alright, so the gold lead has been reduced to about 3.5k. So good job pulling themselves back up to just in to 7 kills to 15. Ziggs getting a little bit of the damage spike getting ready. Kennen once again kind of out of position. But does manage to not get hunted for it.
He's a little ninja. That's what you gotta do. Gotta go back in the enemy lines, make sure you got sight, and you might get picked off once in a while. But you know,
Braum coming up to help Caitlyn deal with the Gnar. A lot of high value targets in the mid lane here. Oh, they do. Okay, so here we see that explosive thing again. Pops a little bit early. Good flash though by the Ziggs immediately afterwards. Really has a good feeling for how the timing of that Ziggs the Ziggs bomb versus how the Fizz ult works. Though, like I said, a little bit of mistiming there, but was able to flash out right when the ult animation was done.
sure.
Interesting Baron choice. Obviously, Kennen is not there. Kennen does have teleport, though. Good Ziggs ult. Good job by Fizz closing out that Warwick. Yeah, Ziggs' damage just isn't quite where they might want it. Mega Gnar, of course, showing up as well is a huge deal. Looks like Ziggs will be able to keep the rest of the team honest. Good snipe on the Leona. Kennen does finally show up. Looked like Fizz accidentally walked backwards onto a Caitlyn trap there. So that was almost a danger, but the trap was just out of Kennen's range. Good job by Jarvan and Fizz and Trist all getting out of there because, like I said, they're a very slippery team.
For sure.
Almost everyone has escapes except Leona, I think.
Yes. And I tend to agree with you. That was an interesting Baron push there. I wonder if it was planned to try to just get some kills to get as bait, but I assume probably not. But yeah, interesting Baron push. They were able to capitalize on it though, able to get a kill for themselves. Might want to think twice the next time that they go for a cheeky Baron like that.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it works out for them. I mean, really impressive how the now Ziggs tried there. Yeah, Fizz is hitting peak now. Fizz is at 7 kills.
Yep. Now he's getting dangerous.
And the lack of, like I said, the lack of CC for Take the Land is now really going to start hurting them because they have no way to lock this Fizz down, at least not reliably.
That is correct. He's also able to stay up, but
yeah,
not for long.
That was really incredible and says how much damage Jarvan doesn't actually really do.
Yeah, that's for sure. Warwick just trying his darndest to get that Jarvan.
I mean, Warwick's just doing his best, man. And they still don't get Jarvan. That's really painful to see. Warwick just disappears there. Kennen manages to get out. So, big fight, pushing Triple Strike further ahead, and Ziggs is just working on the split pushing.
Yep. Now I agree with this Baron. They're in a little bit more of a better position, albeit they are low on health.
They're all really low. I don't know if they have the... Yeah, they don't really have the damage potential to do this anymore. Jarvan's like, wait guys, I'm here, but Baron's now back to full health.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
And we do, unfortunately, get an LCUS game where somebody dies from a... I wouldn't call Baron a creep, but, you know.
Another one, we should say.
Another one.
Always remember those Rek'Sais, the Rek'Sai dying in the jungle.
Yep.
I'm actually... it really can't be overstated how short the cooldown is on Fizz's ult. because he's
Yeah,
been
for sure.
he's been using that every time the Ziggs tries to come at him. Seems like he has it up.
Yep. Righto, please. Fix Fizz.
All right, they should be able to get this Infernal Drake, which will be really good. It'll give the Ziggs some of the power spike he's been looking for. Caitlyn also. So it might help swing them back into the game a little bit. Ziggs does finally get the Lichbane finished, which was the next big item he was looking to build up. So hopefully that'll help him out a little bit. Ken and Fizz both down in the bot lane, so this is a 4v4 currently. Though not much getting done with it. Interesting the Jarvan went for Guardian Angel so early. Granted, it's 27 minutes, but just an interesting choice in my opinion. But we'll see if it works out for him. Once again, trying this Baron. This poor Baron. So he's beaten up 3 times for no reason.
No one just decides to talk with Baron to try to understand him. They just try to kill him all the time. Oh, man.
Alright, so Fizz is trying to pick this off. Kennen is coming in. Ziggs ult misses. Oh, Kennen's dealing a lot of damage. Wow. That was pretty much a solo by the Kennen. Little help from the Ziggs there, but just a really good job by the Kennen to lock that down.
Braum trying to do something up top lane.
Yeah.
Not wanna.
Yeah, little bit lack of coordination there, but still managing to get some good damage off. Good suppression on the Gnar, but Gnar's going into Mega Gnar form right now. So kind of a poorly timed gank. You don't necessarily want to go in on the Gnar when he's about to transform.
Right, and they do pay the price for it. All 3 of them just go in one foul swoop, it looks like.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate to see. 7k gold lead now. Kennen finally taking down this bot turret. Hopefully you're going to return home now.
Yeah.
Decides to teleport up there. I'm not sure I agree with that, though the Ziggs bomb does manage to force them away.
It's all about sending them a message. I mean, yes, he probably couldn't do much if all 3 of them decided to collapse on him, but also with that 6 ult, I feel like that he felt pretty safe going there, just to push them off. And can we finally see a Baron?
Looks like this one will probably be a little more successful.
Yes.
There we go.
There it is.
Alright. So good job there, finally locking that Baron down.
And Mega Gnar comes up.
Yeah. And we'll just have to see how they manage to respond to this with Take the Lantern, you know, being as far behind as they are. Pickoffs are, of course, a great thing to do, and they have tried that. It's just that the timing has been the smallest bit off. There's been 1 or 2 gangs against the Mega Gnar, or against the Gnar, they've gone in just as Mega Gnar was finishing up, which is the worst power spike you could ever hope for.
Correct.
And I mean, I think just trying to close down on this Fizz might be a good idea, because obviously Ace, though he's lost quite a few stacks on his Dark Seal, he's the one that's split pushing, so he's kind of caught out.
Exactly. And they have, Team Take the Lantern has been able to do some pretty good picks, as we've seen earlier in the game. But as of late, it's just that they've been uncoordinated with their plans to try to get some picks or try to get initiate good team fights. Unfortunately, it's just not working for them. They need to work on their coordination a little bit better before the next team fight or the next pick.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Gnar and Kennen are dueling up in the top lane right now. The Baron buff is really pushing Gnar back, or pushing Kennen back. Gnar's really pushing forward really hard with it, and he's also gone Mega Gnar. So right after this Mega Gnar might be a great time if Take the Lantern's able to try to get some stuff done. We'll see if Fizz and the rest of the team lets them.
Yeah. And there is just a war and vision going on right now. It seems like that Take the Lantern doesn't have, I don't even think, a single ward left. And Fizz just doing Fizz things, going in all the way under base.
Good snipe there by the Kate to deal an extra little bit of damage. Warwick should be able to lock him down in a second here. We'll see what the cooldown is on that troll pull. Fizz doing a lot of distracting while the rest of his team pushes in. Inhibitor turret does go down. Ken in a lot of trouble. Braum does a good knockup, does a lot of good shielding. Ultimate comes down. Really good ult there by the Kennen. Manages to lock down the Gnar. 2 inhibitors down, though. That's rough.
Yeah,
They might be able to get this Jarvan. Jarvan going back in on the Cade. Good play there. Cade manages to back up. Jarvan throws down his ults. Poor Braum gets taken out. Trist, of course, wants to keep going. Good trap there by the Cade, preventing Trist from following up on that. That would have been an easy triple kill. Zig's ult doesn't really go anywhere. Was aiming for the 2 tanks, but doesn't manage to take them out.
And Ziggs paid its price for that.
Warwick.
Yeah,
Warwick's moving in, but Trist at this point is taking off too. 10-1. Everyone's always worried about the Fizz. They don't pay attention to the Tristana. All right, Ziggs does the fish. Wow. All right. Ace with the ace, and that's gonna be it unless Kennen pulls off a miracle here. And he does not. All right, so game 1 goes to Triple Strike. Relatively dominant display, though, like you said, a couple of really good plays there from Take the Lantern. Just not quite as much as I'm sure they would have liked.
Correct. Yeah. Like I said, they were able to get some good. That Fizz or Ziggs was really annoying in my right ear. God damn. Okay. Alright, that's gone now. But to get my thoughts together, like I just said a couple minutes ago, like they did have some good picks. But it just kind of felt like they fell flat after that last mid push, and that was kind of their downfall as the game progressed. I mean, with how cheeky that team Triple Strike was trying to take those Barons, I feel like they probably could have capitalized a little bit more on that. Unfortunately, the last one, which is the final Baron that they got, or final Baron push that they actually got, they weren't able to do so.
All right.
But, yeah.
So we will do a quick relay break here and then jump right into the next game, Triple Strike versus Take the Lantern, Game 2. Please don't go anywhere. Back in 5.